Hello, it's Yumi. Welcome to my video. Happy Thanksgiving break. I'm not sure if if it's still gonna be break by the time I finish recording and editing, but I'm hoping I can get it out. Since it's break, I wanted to try to make as many videos as I can with the extra time on my hands. Also, sorry if I sound weird, I'm sick, so my voice might be a little raspy. This video is just gonna be me yapping about the show, so get some snacks or do your homework while watching. This is your um reminder to do your homework. Anyways, let's get into actually talking about Steven Universe. Also, there will be a lot of spoilers, so if you don't want that, you can click off and watch it first. Trust me, it'll be so much more fun if you go into it blind. So if you don't know already, Steven Universe is a TV show from 2013 to 2019. It is an animation about this kid named, you guessed it, Steven Universe. He lives with the crystal gems, which are magical aliens, basically. They have a gem on them based on different minerals, and they have different powers based on their gems. The crystal gems consist of garnet, amethyst, and pearl. They help protect the earth from any and all danger, and they all live in a town called Beach City. Steven is a half gem, so his dad is a human and his mom is a gem. The whole plot of the show is that Steven goes on adventures with the crystal gems, and he tries to figure out what happened with his mom and everything in Homeworld. Homeworld is basically where all of the gems live and where they're created. It's also where the diamonds live. You can kind of think of them as the rulers of Homeworld. They go around colonizing planets to put these things called kindergartens where gems are made. I know that it's really late for me to be watching these cartoons because they came out so long ago, but I keep seeing clips of it online and I was like, I might as well just watch it. So as of right now, I have finished the first official show, but there still is the movie and there's also the feature one. So maybe I'll watch those next. I really like how each episode is 11 minutes, so that each problem is most likely resolved in each episode. There are a lot of filler episodes, I'm not really sure what to call them, but episodes that are just random adventures that don't really add on to the main plot. But I do like these episodes because they add character and gives us information about each character. One example of this was during one of the episodes, Steven gets Rose's scabbard and Pearl gets reminded of Rose. Steven attempts to comfort Pearl and she ends up opening up about how she feels about Rose. Even though that was one of the filler episodes, I really think that it showed what Pearl was going through and what her thoughts was and how she felt about losing Rose. And it really helped Steven understand her emotions and what she was going through. This reminded me about how Pearl is always saying, I do it for her, I do it for him. Her being Rose and him being Steven. And she constantly says this throughout the entire show while she's fighting. And in season 5, when they fight Yellow Diamond and Blue Diamond, Steven is kind of like a ghost thing, and he talks to her saying, don't forget about yourself. And Pearl was like, I do it for myself. And I really thought that that was like a step towards her thinking about herself instead of only worrying about others. Another thing I like is the color and animation. I think that although they look simple, the backgrounds, the character designs are amazing. I love how the designs show off their personalities a bit. I also like how Amethyst is different from all of the quote-unquote normal quartz soldiers and how she's much smaller than she's supposed to be. I think that this really gives her character and makes her different and adds to her background. I absolutely love all of the characters. They all have their own unique personalities and characteristics. My favorite characters so far are definitely Garnet and Peridot. Garnet is rational, she uses her head, she's smart, and I love that one part where she's like, Steven, and he's like, yeah, and she's like, I love you, while she's doing a heart with her hands. I love how she's very comforting character. You see her talking and helping others go through their emotions and help them see what they want. Especially with that one scene where she's talking to Peridot and basically talking with her and comforting her. Because Peridot this time was new to Earth, so I really like that. I also love how she's always like, yeah, Steven can do that, and if he gets in trouble, then we can just get him out. She's kind of a mom to everyone, and I like the idea that she's a fusion. And when I learned about it, my jaw was literally on the floor. I was so surprised that she was actually a fusion. And I love how Ruby and Sapphire balance each other out, and they're so cute together. Also, I love their marriage, and that whole entire episode, and the way Stephen brought Bismuth back for her to join the wedding was so wholesome. And then my other favorite character, Peridot, she's such an amazing character. I love how she absolutely hated the crystal gems at first, and then she started seeing the beauty in earth and life, and literally called Yellow Diamond a clod. And then she started crashing out on Peridot, but I think it was funny. I also think it's funny how Peridot doesn't know anything about the earth, especially about the bathroom and like how that was her first home. And Stephen had to explain to her about rain and how the toilet worked. I love the part where she goes into the rain for the first time and she loves it, and that's kind of like when she first sees the beauty in earth. She doesn't really know how to apologize, so she kind of tries to, but when she does, it's in a very awkward way because she's never apologized to anyone before. She used to think that she was the best and that she was extremely entitled. Um, and I love that she's really trying to grow out of it and become a better person. I like to think that her losing her limb enhancers and all of her tech is a symbol of her losing her home and her place in Homeworld. And it's also a symbol of her moving on and trying to become a better person. Every character in this series has such a unique personality, and no one is alike at all. Like Onion, for example, he's so random. You can't understand what his motive is, and he just kind of goes around Beach City and causes chaos everywhere. And Lars is always trying so hard to fit in and be cool, but he always ends up doing stupid things just to fit in. He's also shown to be like a miserable person, but when he gets stuck in Homeworld, he finds his people, the off colors, and he becomes confident and he strives to live life again. Speaking of Lars, is he not human anymore? Because after Steven brought him back to life, he's similar to how Lion is, like how Steven can travel through Lion's mane. Another thing I love is how good the music is. I love how the music really adds on to the scenes, and the lyrics like go with the scenes as well. And the background music too is so good because like most of the time you can't really notice it, but when you do, like it really like it fits the scenes so well. The way White Diamond tries to fix everyone that is flawed is by making them into her puppets, but she doesn't realize that she's harming everyone else and even herself. I love that Yellow and Blue realized that they were all just miserable and things needed to change, although they kind of got brainwashed and made into puppets by White Diamond, but it's still a step in the right direction. I also wonder why White Diamond is so obsessed with control and being perfect. What happened to her that made her like this? What was her child life like? The ending of this series was a happy ending with the diamonds coming to Earth to help heal the corrupted gems, and Lars and his crew came back to Earth, and the crystal gems also have a new look now. And oh, I really liked Obsidian, the fusion of Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl, and Steven. The character design on Obsidian is crazy, and it's so good, and the weapon was like beautiful. One thing I don't really like about the show is how all of these characters are like really oblivious and kind of stupid. Like they make stupid decisions that lead to more problems, and I understand that they need to make these decisions to keep the story moving, but it honestly pisses me off so much that they don't have common sense sometimes. Um, I've been so obsessed with the show, and I think that this is one of the best shows that I've ever watched in my entire life. So I would 100% recommend you guys watching it. Overall, I love the characters, the plot, and the art, and the music. Anyways, that is the end of my Steven Universe rant. So sorry if it made like absolutely no sense at all, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me know if you guys want a similar video for the movie and the feature one. Thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Bye!